Hello, in today's video we're going to talk about the Germanic tribes versus the Romans and how they organized themselves differently and how society was different under both. So for this tutorial you should have your notebook open on the table that you made that shows the differences between what the Germanics were loyal to and what the Romans were loyal to. So you should be able to see in your notebook that under the Roman section you have that they are loyal to two things: public government and written laws. Now what does that mean? Hopefully you remember that the Romans had an empire and an emperor, an emperor that ruled for them, and normal everyday citizens were loyal to that emperor. Obviously, each individual person can have their own disagreements or opinions, but in general, society functioned because everybody knew the laws that were written down and abided by them, and everybody respected and was loyal to the emperor and his government, his governors in different cities, and his administrators. The situation that the Roman Empire had is quite similar to what we have today, where we have a government with a president and a king. Different politicians represent the people, and generally in our day-to-day lives we respect the laws and we respect our government. On the other hand, we have the Germanics, and we can see here in the diagram, and you can see in your notebook, that they were first loyal to their family and their chief. So the most important thing for them was their family, to be loyal and respect their family and the chief, who is the leader of their tribe. You should be able to see that this is a big difference between the Romans and the Germanics, because obviously Romans were loyal to their own families, but they were willing to take instructions from people who they don't necessarily know personally, that are in charge of organizing the government and organizing society, whereas the Germanics were not. They were only interested in listening to their chief and their family, protecting their family and fighting for their family. This is the main difference. The other thing that they were loyal to and followed were their unwritten laws and their traditions. Hopefully you should be able to explain now why they had unwritten laws or unwritten rules. So think about it. Why is it that the Germanics have unwritten rules or laws? The answer is, in case you don't know, that they were illiterate. This means that you cannot read or write. And therefore, if you can't read or write, what is the point of writing anything down? But obviously you can still know these laws and these rules, because I could come into the class and tell you you're not allowed to do this or you're not allowed to do that. We don't have to write them down, but by writing them down now it makes it more formal. Connected to the differences between the Roman organization and the Germanics is the internal structure of a Germanic tribe. So this is a general structure of all tribes: the Franks, the Huns, the Visigoths. Obviously it's simplified, but just so you have an idea. The main thing that we need to know here is that there was a chief, or a lord. He controlled a tribe, which was mainly made up of a group of warriors. And he gave them certain things, like food, a place to live, treasure, and probably most importantly, weapons, because they're warriors. And in return, the group of warriors had to give him two things. Hopefully you're saying them aloud or in your head now: loyalty and protection. If it makes it easier, you should think about this almost like a job, like a contract. Obviously a contract is written, and this was not written down because the Germanics could not read or write. But that's what it is. They say, here, I'm giving you all these things, in return you need to give me these things. Oh, I made a mistake here. Food. Sorry. So you need to understand this, be able to explain it, possibly show it in a diagram, or if I put a diagram in the test, be able to explain the diagram. The other thing is, you really should keep this in mind, because later when we continue with the course, this idea is going to be very important. It connects to a big change that took place in society. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for listening.